So we're going to open this up. We're going to do a little question and answer. And as you guys know, Dan is involved with the War Room, which was, yeah.
I see you.
I got to meet Steve. And you're talking about a guy that knows guys that went to prison. So I got to see Dan down in Palm Beach. I was down there for an event I was asked to attend. And Dan and I saw him with his book. And I said, man, this is pretty cool. Another guy in the entertainment industry that's conservative. And I said, you don't see that a lot. So we got to talking, and I said, Dan, I've got this radio show, and I want you to come on. And Dan came on, and we talked about a lot of amazing things. So some of the things I want to share with you are some of the stuff that he discussed and spoke to me on the show that day. And Dan, I guess really to start out, most people in the media, here's the thing. We're considered the media. I love to wear a shirt that says defund the media. Now, you're part of the media. You're part of this. How do you feel with the way the media has turned in today, and how do you guys keep your show from being judged as, oh, this is just a right-wing show, this being extreme and spreading propaganda? How do you guys do that, and what kind of got you guys to take the stance that you do?
Well, how we came to take our stance is that we're nothing but truth seekers, right? And we see what's going on in the world, and we just talk about it. It's very simple. There's no formula. There's no lot of thought behind it. In that regard, because when you are a truth seeker and you talk the truth, it's very easy. It's very simple. You don't have layers and layers of obfuscation and ideology that really drives you. So speaking truth is very simple. You asked how I feel about the media. Right now, I'm in love with the media. I think it's great. Their approval ratings are in the toilet where they belong. I think they're in single digits. Nobody takes them seriously anymore. And I'm talking about legacy media, obviously, the CNNs and MSNBCs. People despise them. They laugh at them. They openly mock them, which is exactly where it needs to be. So, yeah, I love those guys. And they dig their hole deeper and deeper and deeper every single day. In many ways, they're responsible for Donald Trump getting reelected. Because with the J6 fiasco, with the injustice that befell hundreds, thousands of people who are rotting in jail, many of them without ever actually going to court, never having a trial, being called an insurrectionist, and like you pointed out, never, ever once getting charged with that, called all kinds of names, smeared, mocked, ridiculed, despised, and people saw through that. It was a combination of that. They saw how Trump was mistreated. They understood with watching all the crazy COVID business, just how rotten, how manipulative, not just the media, but the deep state. We won't even get into Russiagate and the impeachments and all the Ukraine and the 51 intel letter. I mean, it's total madness, right? But it was responsible for people being awakened to the truth. And so, much like when you were talking about why, God, am I here? What am I doing here? Well, you're there meant to reach out to other men. Why did we have to go through 2020 with the stolen election? Why did we have to go through all the COVID madness? Why we have to go through all these impeachment hearings and all this madness? Well, it was so that people could get awake. And when God protected Donald Trump that afternoon in Butler, Pennsylvania, that changed the course of everything. I believe very strong. Look, he was on a mission anyway. I believe very strongly that changed everything. He is in there now. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about what the media says, what the Democrats say, what anybody does. He's in there. He made promises to the American people. He's keeping promises to the American people. and it's inspirational. It's really great. I love to see what's happening, and I love the media today. Not just the legacy media, but I also love people like you, Joe, with your show. People that are out there, like I said, speaking the truth, looking for the truth, talking about the truth, having people on who will discuss it, right? You're able to touch people that the legacy media never can. People are hungry for the truth. You know, with War Room, look, we get more viewers per day than CNN. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And we're considered you got to look for us. I mean, where do you go find the War Room? We used to be on YouTube, canceled. We used to be on Facebook, canceled. We used to be on Spotify, canceled. We've been canceled all over the damn place. And each time we come back stronger and stronger. There's a hunger for the truth. We're happy to provide the truth. And I say let's sink the media even lower than they already are.
I love it. I love it. You know, Dan, one thing that I think the listener or the audience and everybody would like to know, your book's amazing. I mean, you and I talked about it, the pictures. I mean, I'm a visual guy, and I just looked at the pictures. I was like, wow, you know, they're unbelievable. But how do you guys select and bring the guest in? This is a series of people who y'all had throughout the last few years. How do you guys pick that guest and bring him in? Because I'm sure it's a long line of people getting in.
Well, that's also easy. Are you a fighter? Are you a rebel? Do you speak the truth? Are you out there fighting your fight every day? Are you doing good things in your community and in the nation and trying to help people, help bring truth to people? If you are, you're a candidate to be on the show. You know, in the book, it's if you guys aren't familiar with the book, there's 90-some individuals who have been on the War Room. And as they would come through the studio, I would take the opportunity whenever I could to shoot them. And it was, you know, just really for me, for fun, because I'm an art school lunatic. I just always liked that. And, you know, as I started developing a bit of a portfolio, or the work got bigger and bigger, you know, we decided, hey, let's see what else we can do with this. And that's how we ended up doing the book. But the thing is, in that book, it's called Rebels for a reason. Rebels, Rogues, and Outlaws. Everyone in that book is a rebel. Everyone that's in that book has been on the show, deservedly been on the show, because that's what they do. You know, there's a lot of people who, look, half the people in the book don't like each other. I don't care about that. What's important to me is that people fight, right? You got you know, the Laura Loomers of the world who are can be a little controversial, but there's no denying that chick has got spirit, right? And she'll stand where she thinks she ought to stand, and she'll tell you what she thinks she ought to tell you. And I love that spirit, and to me, that's the thing that animates and drives not just the book, but also the show.
You know, you speak about Laura Loomer, and people, the far left, and even our media tend to want to make, and I think this group is something that we can relate to. They tend to make it, if we fight the system, make us look like we're crazy. Make us look, oh, these are just wackos, these are extremists, these are people that are going to attack. Did you guys at any time, and this is actually for both Jody and you, did you guys, when you started standing this, because when you started the assembly many years ago, I'm sure the good old boy system looked up and go, what is this? What in the world are you doing here? You either come with us or you're against us. And that's not the way this works, and we've seen it, because we exposed a lot of stuff that I'm glad we fought. I'm glad we went against. But when you guys see that occur, and how do you respond to that? And I'd like to have you.
I've spoken quite a bit, Jody.
Yeah, like